Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be unboxing the Vivo Y21 and doing a quick hands-on review. In India, this phone will be available for a price of about 15,500 rupees and comes with 4GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. It's available in two colors, Midnight Blue and the Diamond Glow. Now the main highlighting features about this phone would be its bigger battery, fast charging speeds and decent performance. So without any further delays, let's have a quick unboxing. So once again, here's the box. It just says Vivo Y21 at the top, and we also have a quick preview of how the phone looks from the back. On the back side of the box, we have some of the highlighting features, mainly its bigger battery, charging speeds, performance and its slim form factor. Now let's unbox it. First, we have a smaller box. Next, we have the phone itself, followed by some barcode stickers, an 18 watts power adapter, a USB Type-C charging cable, and finally there's also a SIM card ejector tool. Now, inside the small box, we get some documentation and a soft silicone case. Now let me just remove all these covers. Now this is how the phone looks on the front, and this is how the phone looks on the back. On the back, this phone has a 2.5D curved glass. Well, I'm not really sure if it's glass or fiberglass, but it's surely transparent, and underneath that glass, we have a pretty cool looking pattern. It's just some random cubes thrown around, but it definitely makes a pretty cool looking pattern. At the top, we have the camera module with a dual camera setup followed by a single LED flash, and at the bottom, we have the Vivo branding. On the front, we have a 6.51-inch Halo full view display with HD plus resolution with 20:9 aspect ratio and 89% screen to body ratio. Inside the dewdrop notch, we got the front facing camera, and above that we have the earpiece along with some sensors. Below the display, it's completely plain. Now the chin on this phone is slightly bigger than other phones in this price segment. Now for the sides, on the right side we have the power and volume buttons. Both are made of plastic, they have a nice clicky feel to them. As for the power button, it also acts like a fingerprint scanner. At the top, we have just the SIM card tray housing two nano SIM slots along with a dedicated SD card slot. On the left side, it's completely plain. And finally at the bottom, we have the audio jack followed by the primary microphone, USB Type-C charging port and the speaker grill. Now this phone has a thickness of 8mm and weighs just 182 grams. That's like pretty sleek and pretty lightweight considering this phone has a massive 5000 mAh battery. Initial impressions, at least in terms of form factor, it definitely delivers. Now this is how the phone looks with the case on. It's just a soft silicone case, so it can just give you some grip and prevent smudges, that's all, not too much in terms of protection. Now these are the complete specifications of this phone. On the rear, we have a dual camera setup with a 13MP primary camera followed by a 2MP super macro camera. For selfies, we get an 8MP camera with f2.0 aperture. Under the hood, it sports a MediaTek Helio P35 processor with PowerVR GE8320 GPU with 4GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Powering this device is a massive 5000 mAh battery. This phone also supports fast charging and comes with an 18 watts fast charger, and this phone also supports reverse wireless charging. So you can actually use your phone like a power bank to charge other phones, which is something I would definitely not recommend. Now this is how the phone looks once we turn it on and set it up. This is the home screen, that's the default launcher. We also got an app drawer. By the way, this phone also has FM radio, just in case if you're wondering. Now this is the notification panel, looks pretty much similar to other Vivo phones. Now here's the about page. This phone is running FunTouch OS 11.1 based on Android 11 with the August 1st security patch, which is pretty decent. As for the storage information, out of the 64GB of memory, we get about 46GB of space for our user apps and user data. Out of that 4GB of RAM, we get about 2.56GB of RAM free for our usage. Now this is the camera interface, looks pretty similar to other Vivo phones. Default mode is the photo mode. We also have a toggle at the bottom right corner to switch to the super macro mode. On the left side we have the portrait mode followed by the panorama. On the right side we have the video mode followed by more features. We have a pretty similar interface even for the front facing camera. Now these are some sample shots. Now let's test the speaker loudness. Here's an audio preview.
Back to the sound.
This phone has just a single speaker at the bottom and it is sufficiently loud for media consumption, ringtones and alarms, so there's no problem there. Now let's test the fingerprint scanner. This phone actually has a side mounted fingerprint scanner and the performance is pretty good. It almost instantly unlocks the phone. We also got the face unlock feature on this phone, and here's the preview in good lighting conditions. It's pretty fast, almost unlocks the phone within a second. Even in low lighting conditions, it works really well, unlocks the phone in about a second or two depending upon the wallpaper you're using. In complete darkness, it still works, but it is slightly slower and you have to bring your phone close to your face. Now before I conclude, these are the benchmark scores. So guys, I've been using this phone for about 2 hours and the performance of this phone, we really can't compare it with other online exclusive phones, but for a retail phone from Vivo, I would say the performance is pretty decent. If you're a very basic user who just wants decent cameras, decent performance with a bigger battery, fast charging speeds, and most importantly a phone with a sleeker form factor, then you can definitely consider this phone. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description, it always helps the channel. With that said, this is Nikhil signing off, see you in my next video.